Now on CoastTV News.
Another rain and snowstorm coming to the coast this weekend. How people and providers are preparing. A parent speaking out about the Brian Allen Stevenson School of Excellence, why she thinks the community should back the school. This land for community fun. The Milton Theater needs your help to save this space in just 1 month.
And the late night forecast model runs indicating we've had to up the ante as it pertains to how much snow we anticipate Sunday night going into Monday morning.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
A landmark Supreme Court ruling regarding tariffs today. Good Friday evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Christina T. Robertis. It's our top story. The Supreme Court saying President Trump overstepped his authority when he enacted tariffs. As NBC's Julie Sirkin reports, President Trump is not so happy, saying he will find another way to bring in money.
A gut punch to President Trump's signature economic policy. The Supreme Court today struck down many of his taxes on foreign countries. In a 6-3 decision, the justices said Trump overstepped his authority when he imposed sweeping tariffs using a law designed for a national emergency, known as the International Emergency Powers Act, or IEPA. President Trump lashing out against the justices.
The Supreme Court's ruling on tariffs is deeply disappointing, and I'm ashamed of certain members of the court, absolutely ashamed.
And warning he will try to hit countries with tariffs a different way.
Today I will sign an order to impose a 10% global tariff under Section 122, over and above our normal tariffs already being charged.
Trump imposed so-called reciprocal tariffs last year on nearly every country in the world, claiming he was leveling the trade playing field and arguing the taxes were a matter of national security.
Foreign countries that have been ripping us off for years are ecstatic. They're so happy. And they're dancing in the streets.
But American businesses have been paying tariffs on goods they sell here and make overseas. Several small companies have sued, saying the tariffs were so high they can't stay in business. The court's decision also makes clear the president stepped on Congress's territory. NBC's legal correspondent Gary Grumbach explains.
This is a ruling that is incredibly important politically, economically, but also for the Constitution's separation of powers. Chief Justice John Roberts, in his opinion today, said in no uncertain terms that the power to tariff and the power to tax lies with Congress, not the President of the United States.
Congress has voted several times to block Trump's tariffs on certain countries, and some Republicans joined Democrats today to celebrate the Supreme Court's ruling.
Since President Trump imposed those now illegal tariffs, the U.S. has taken in $130 billion in revenue. So now the big question is, will and how will businesses get to recover some of that money? What happens to the trade deals that have been reached? All of that is still to be worked out. In Washington, Julie Sirkin, NBC News.
Well, if you packed away the shovels and salt after the last storm, you're going to have to rethink that because more snow is on the way to the coast this weekend. Coast TV reporter Drew Bellinger shows us how people and energy providers are preparing.
Checking out and getting ready for yet another round of snow on the coast.
I just turned over and go back to sleep. That's
Hannah O'Brien, who bought a shovel at the Ace Hardware store in Ocean City, says heavy snow makes her nervous.
There's a tree behind me that should have been cut a long time ago, and the neighbor doesn't like to do those things, so I'm hoping it doesn't because it's going to fall on my house.
An employee here at the Ace Hardware store says even with all the snow that the coast has seen, they've been able to keep items like these in store and avoid empty shelves.
Knock a tree right on over.
Lauren Irby with the Delaware Electric Cooperative says thick, heavy snow can be dangerous for many reasons.
With the poles, the snow itself can weigh down the lines, the poles themselves. You know, if enough snow falls and if it's heavy enough, that itself can collapse the poles.
But for Steve Littleton,
snow's something really no big worry.
He says his HVAC work must go on.
As soon as you get wet, you're ready to go home, you know. But, you know, you stay dry, work it out.
Ready for more snow after rain on Delmarva. For Coast TV News, I'm Drew Bellinger.
Now, we spoke with some doctors today about the snow and cold weather coming, so we have a few reminders for you. The doctors say you should take smaller steps and test the ground conditions so you don't fall down. Also, you should stay hydrated and try and stay dry so that you don't get frostbite. You should layer up, but don't do too much because then you could restrict your blood flow. Also, don't overdo it with the shoveling to protect your heart and your back. Now we're looking live into Ocean City. Pretty foggy out there right now. Our First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams joins us with a check on the weather.
Well, one thing we want to make sure is that we really don't want to start calling the amount of snow that we're expecting until we see the whites of its eyes, so to speak. And now that the event is getting closer and closer, we're getting more clarity on what to anticipate. So now we've upped it from 3 to 6 to up to 4 to 8 inches of snow expected. And we even have some models that are indicating that it could even be more than just that. But this is going to be a very solid snow event that we anticipate for Sunday night. So timing of the rain and snow is changing. It's going to be earlier. Then the heavy snow is going to be needed to overcome ground temperatures because we've been warm and we're going to be warmer than usual for Saturday as well. 3 to 6, however, longer shelf life because it's going to make that 3 to 6 go to 4 to 8. And then we're looking out for wind gusts as well. It's going to be another part of this equation that's not even expected. So Sunday about 12 noon, this particular model is indicating by 12 noon, we'll start seeing this change over to the purple, which is indicating the snow, going from rain to snow, and then covering the entire area by Sunday at 6:30. Now that's earlier than that's longer shelf life, or it sticks around longer. And then it goes all the way to like Monday in the early morning hours to like maybe even before till the sun comes up. If it actually elongates the staying time or the shelf life, that's going to give us more of an opportunity to receive more in the way of snow. Coming up, we're going to examine all 3 paths of the models that we're seeing indicate, and we're going to run the latest model run to show you, the numbers are starting to go up, close to away.
Okay, thanks, Paul. We're going to check on our Coast TV poll now. We're asking, how do you feel about getting more snow this winter? Looking at the results, 18% say they love it, 3% are excited, 58% though, most people, including me, are over it, 21% even dreading it. And if you haven't voted yet, you still can. Go to coasttv.com or use our mobile app. Let us know what you think. Well, this here is the Milton Theater's Quayside property. It's the grassy outdoor space near the river. In the summertime, it looks more like this, drawing hundreds of people each week for outdoor music and events. The theater already leases the land from the owner, but now the owner has offered to sell the property to the theater for $150,000. It's actually a fraction of its market value. But the theater says they weren't expecting this sale to happen so soon, and now they only have 30 days to raise the money.
I am very hopeful that will happen. I think you can do a lot in 30 days. I think that we've just been very open and honest about it. And we just need help. We just need, we're doing the best we can here. And we just need a little bit more help from the community.
The theater says owning the land will allow them to replace this temporary outdoor stage with a bigger permanent one for more opportunities and larger performances. Looking regionally now, Delaware DMV will resume operations at its Wilmington location on Tuesday, March 10th. Service will be by appointment only to help manage customer volume. The Delaware City, Dover, and Georgetown DMV locations will continue to offer those walk-in services. And this all comes after Delaware State Trooper Corporal Ty Snook was shot and killed at the Wilmington DMV just before Christmas. Well, a funeral for former Delaware State Senator George Howard Bunting is set for this Saturday in Ocean View. Services will be held at Mariners Bethel Church. After the service, Delaware State Police will lead a procession from Ocean View to Dagsboro. Now, traffic delays are expected between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m., especially around the church, which is there on Central and Atlantic Avenues. The Salisbury Zoo is taking precautions to protect animals from bird flu. Plastic booties and spraying disinfectant on the bottom of their shoes are just two of the precautions that caretakers are taking when entering bird exhibits. One unique aspect of the Salisbury Zoo are the herons that live in the trees above the property. There are also safety measures in place to keep heron droppings out of the habitat's food and water sources. Zoo Director Chuck Elliott says all of the animals at the zoo are currently healthy, but they know what to look for if that wasn't the case.
Every day we monitor our animals. Our animal care staff is fully trained, as well as many of other staff members. And you're going to be able to watch them and see if they're slowing down, if they're not eating well. So there's a lot of things that could happen. Their feathers may look different, maybe fluffing themselves up because they might be cold. So we look at all these different things.
Now, the zoo sends samples out for testing if any dead birds are found on or near the property. The Brian Allen School of Excellence is under review by the Delaware Department of Education. We've been telling you, the state's committee actually recommending that the school's charter be revoked. That's because of problems with finances, low enrollment, and staffing. Today, CoastTV's Brandon Ferguson spoke to a middle school mother who says she's worried the community is rooting for the school to fail.
Stephanie Stott's son goes to the Brian Allen Stevenson School of Excellence. Stott says schools in the area are overcrowded, so Base was a perfect choice at first.
The administrators would know him, that it would be this smaller atmosphere, and that was our expectation, and that really has been met. All of the things that have been happening, though, I mean, they're very concerning.
Stott says her son has had a positive experience at the school, but is worried there is too much for them to fix with too little time.
At this really, really critical time, they are spending a huge amount of all their effort and time working on this review process rather than on building the school.
The state's Charter School Accountability Committee says the school had problems with accounting and teachers not doing trainings. We did not hear back from the school today, but earlier this week, the board put blame on past leadership who have since been fired.
Nobody knew what we would find in our new school last year. And while a lot of people had some expectations about it, they weren't necessarily met. But now we have a routine, we have a rhythm.
The state says enrollment must increase for the school to keep its charter. Committee members told the state they need families to confirm students' enrollment in writing. Stott's is on the fence.
But I still need to do what's best for my child. And so we are really weighing our options and figuring out what is best for our child.
A public hearing on the future of the school's charter is on March 9th.
That was Brandon Ferguson reporting. Now, after that public hearing, the Department of Education will make a decision in 10 days on whether the Brian Allen Stevenson School can stay open. Now, according to the Delaware Department of Education, the Brian Allen Stevenson School of Excellence must show stronger support from families if it hopes to stay open. Excuse me. The Delaware Department of Education says they need written statements and enrollment commitments to keep the school afloat, and that the school's low response rate to recent surveys falls short. The department also wants evidence that past operational and financial issues have been resolved and that the broader community supports the school. And we are just getting started. There's more news coming up, like Georgetown moving closer to new workforce housing. What's next before construction can begin? And coming up, Paul Williams is in our CoastTV First Alert Weather Center. He's got your full forecast in just a bit. But first, from local history to film, food, and fun, there's plenty of events happening on Delmarva this weekend. We've got to look at some cool things to do up next. This time of year, we can definitely get some cabin fever, but luckily there's still plenty of events happening along the coast. Here are some of those cool things to do. It's one of the last weekends of February, and there are two Black History Month events happening this weekend that you should know about. One, the Lewis African American Heritage Commission hosting This Used to Be My Playground. It's a chance to hear stories about the old Lewis community playground and what it meant to generations of local families. It's a free and meaningful way to spend your weekend. And also, the Rehoboth Beach Film Society is teaming up with the Southern Delaware Alliance for Racial Justice for the 7th annual Rehoboth Beach Black American Film Festival. It runs all weekend, featuring award-winning films and celebrating the work of Black artists in film. If you're itching for a vacation this year, you'll want to hit the Cheer Center from 10 to 2 on Saturday for the Cheer Travel Show. You can explore trips from travel agencies, cruise lines, and resorts all in one place, and admission is free. Sunday also has plenty going on. Thompson Island Brewing Company hosting its 4th annual Chili Cook-Off, where you can sample different chilies and vote for the best chili of the year. And if you need something to wash that chili down, Sunday is National Margarita Day. The Big Chill Surf Cantina is serving up $6 house margaritas all day long. For more details, visit our website, CoastTV.com, and click on Cool Things to Do.
I've always believed in being a straight shooter and what I do, and I'm just be straight with you. This storm switched overnight, literally, and now we have to just barrel down and say, look, we knew we were going to get some snow, period. But now it looks like the models are moving in such a way where we've got to up the ante to at least 4 to 8. And some of the models are saying things that are so up there on the mountaintop, I can't even say that in good conscience to you. But this I can. Between 4 to 8 inches, that's what we're looking for, and that's what we're expecting. Now, we could see up to 2 to 4 to our south throughout portions of Chincoteague. Now, I'm going to show you why I'm kind of up this thing. First of all, the winter storm watch is in effect for the entire Delmarva Peninsula. Along with that, a coastal flood watch is in effect. Then we have the concerns for winds. Gale wind watch, we're watching out for winds to start whipping around at about 35 miles per hour. Snow with winds like that, we've even got some people talking about things becoming up in Philadelphia and over in Jersey, talking about blizzards up there. So that's just how close we are proximity to that. Before we get started on the snow, we had rain today. Georgetown, we had 0.57. I believe that's a record for today's date of the amount of rain that we received on this particular date. That's a record, just so you'll know. 41 degrees overnight. Saturday, we start off cloudy and 39. By the afternoon, we go into the low to mid 50s. Now that's above the norm for this time of the year, and that sets the stage for a warm ground and a warm setting for the possibility of snow. And then for Sunday morning, we start off with a chance of rain, and this model is indicating that that rain sticks around until around lunchtime. Now here's the deal. We got 3 models rolling here: the American, the Canadian, and the Euro. And they've started to squish together, but now they're starting to lean ever so slightly towards us. And that small little lean, that little bit of a lean, is just enough to kick the numbers up where we are right now, because we're such a small and such a finite and small area. So first of all, the model that's most conservative is now going up to 4 to 5 inches of snow. That was my first hint. And then I checked on the other part of our watch area, and it's going up to 5 inches there. So it's consistent right there. And that's the lowest. That's the European model that's going to give us the best case scenario. Now, as you take a look at the timing of this, it becomes interesting because this model is indicating that we're going to see the timing change up for us a bit as we go into the afternoon. We're looking for Sunday popping in a little bit different. Now, the thing about it is we're looking at possibly 7 to 13 inches. I think that's a little heavy, to be quite honest. However, we have to look at that as a real possibility because we're looking at least 7 inches in some areas. And I'm monitoring the dew point temperatures. This is going to be the key that's going to unlock things, because see, when I go into Sunday evening, we're still at 32. Dew point temperature and the air temperature can be at the same rate, but 32 is where we're at. So that's when I'm expecting the best opportunity for the snow to really kick in for us. Because you got to remember, we're going to deal with wet snow because our ratio is going to be 1 to 5 instead of 1 to 10 or even 13. So that's why we're saying 4 to 8. Keep that in mind, and we will keep you updated. I know I've taken longer than usual, but I wanted to make sure you understood it. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Red alert day for Sunday and Monday morning.
Thank you, Paul. Georgetown Town Council recently approved a request to rezone these 2 lots off of East Market Street. There they are, changing the lots from highway commercial to urban residential. The request comes from Little Living. It's a Delaware-based nonprofit that wants to build 20 cottage-style homes. Coast TV reporter Ana Sofia Román shows us what still needs to happen before construction can begin.
Georgetown is one step closer to having a new workforce housing development off East Market Street. George Maringalo, president of Little Living, says the need for affordable housing is obvious and the time to do something is now.
They're going to be local people. They're going to be working at Purdue. These are people that have to drive 30 miles now to get to work or 40 miles now to get to work. If they don't have to drive that distance and they're paying less for their rent, that's more money that they can put into savings for their future.
According to Little Living, the plan includes 20 long-term rental houses ranging from 1 to 3 bedrooms. Monthly rent is expected to fall between $950 and $1,200 with utilities included. While some people don't agree with the project, others like Lee Brown say it will be a big asset for the community.
I think something like that project is well overdue, quite frankly. This area certainly needs the housing.
Little Living still needs site plan approval from Georgetown's Planning Commission and additional approvals from JELDED and DENREC before starting construction.
We're creating a community, not a house.
Maringalo says he hopes to secure all necessary approvals by late April or May. In Georgetown, Ana Sofia Román, Coast TV News.
Little Living says the 3 lots for the project were donated. The organization says funding for the development will come from a combination of donations and loans. The Olympics are winding down. It's almost the end. Let's take a look at the medal count. Norway still leading the way with 37 medals total. They have 17 gold medals. The USA has 28 total. We have 10 gold. Italy not too far behind. They have 27 total and 9 gold. And the Winter Olympics continue until the 22nd. You can only watch here on Coast TV. Coming up in sports tonight, the Henlopen and Bayside Championships are finally all set. DSN breaks down high school hoops when we're back. And coming up, what's called the silent killer, chronic kidney disease, and what to know about it before it becomes life-threatening.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
More than 1 in 7 U.S. adults are estimated to have chronic kidney disease, and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say as many as 90% of them have no idea they have it. And when it's left untreated, the condition can cause irreversible damage, even death. Tonight, Mandy Gaither explains how to know if you're at risk and what to do about it.
It's called the silent killer. Chronic kidney disease can progress before it's ever detected.
We've got an epidemic of kidney disease in this country.
Dr. Samir Parikh with the American Society of Nephrology says kidneys play a crucial role in the body and are closely linked to the heart since they constantly filter and clean blood. But when those filters are damaged, it can also strain the heart, and they don't regenerate.
So the filters we're born with have to last us our lifetime.
Parikh says conditions like diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, and obesity can cause permanent damage to the kidneys, and as it's happening, there's often no pain.
The conditions wind up being very asymptomatic until you get to advanced stages. And even then, the symptoms can just be nonspecific, like fatigue or loss of appetite.
That's why Parikh says if you have risk factors or a family history of kidney disease, it's critical to get your numbers checked.
There's one test that tests how much filtering your kidneys are doing. That's a blood test. And there's another test that asks, are these filters becoming leaky or not working well? That's a urine test.
Parikh says early detection and treatment of kidney disease can significantly slow and even stop damage before it's too late.
Don't wait for symptoms.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good evening, Delmarva. It's a big Saturday for you high school basketball fans out there in the first state. The Henlopen Conference Championships are set, and you can catch both games on DSN Plus. Starting with the girls Conference Championship at 1 o'clock. Amalia Fruckman and the 17-2 Cape Henlopen Vikings take on Marche Brown and Early College High School at 1 o'clock. The Vikings are trying to recapture the title for the first time since since 2023. On the boys' side, Dover is taking on Seaford for the third year in a row in the conference championship game. Dover's won all 3 of the last 3 matchups and 4 of the last 5 Henlopen Conference titles, but VE3 and company won't go quietly. Blue Jays are looking to cap off an impressive Henlopen Conference season of their own. But meanwhile, over in Maryland, the Bayside Conference championships are all set. For the girls, Kent Island from the Bayside North and Stephen Decatur from the South. The Seahawks clinched the South Division tonight with a win over Parkside, a big one at that. For the boys, Colonel Richardson represents the North, winning the division for the first time since 1975. And Waihi clinched the South just last Tuesday in a thrilling overtime win against Parkside. That one, a instant DSN Classic, 65-63. Make sure you tune into our coverage here on DSN all night long, starting at 4:40 p.m. and the first game's at 5. We'll have a little bit of a break in between, and then the boys will round things out. That'll be Waihi taking on Colonel Richardson. But that'll do it for sports. Big weekend ahead. Also, we got the Blue Coats on Saturday at 6 on the DSN main feed. Have a great night, everyone.
Sunday evening, Monday morning, 4 to 8 inches conservatively for our area because we're under a winter storm watch. We're concerned about gale winds as well on both sides and all sides of the peninsula. We will keep you updated on our various options and social media. Eva, you're our winner, umbrella giveaway winner, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration Experts. Keep up with your forecast and the storm by calling our weather line, sponsored by the law offices of Bruckstedt, Mandalis, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. Saturday's your get ready day, okay? Saturday's not the problem. Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, going into Monday morning, that's where the first alert comes into play. Like I said, between 4 to 8 inches of snow, and we'll keep you updated on any changes.
All right, thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. And thanks to you for joining us for Coast TV News at 11. You can find more news and weather on our Coast TV News app. More Olympic coverage coming up next, and we'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 6 p.m. Have a great night.